Let's talk about CLOV. Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm your beautiful host, Young Buffett, and in today's video, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to take a look at what people are talking about. We're going to take a look at Max Payne and see how it's relating to CLOV. We're going to dive into the dark pool data, see what's going on. We're going to take a look at the daily price movement. We'll take a look at the options chain and come up with a plan. We'll discover something to do as we get closer to earnings. So first and foremost, I was looking at my YouTube analytics and I thought you guys might find this interesting. But on my last video, 52% of you guys were subscribed, 44% of you guys were not. Why? Just hit that subscribe button. It makes me feel good about myself. It boosts my ego. And that's what everybody needs, an egotistical YouTuber who talks about stocks all day long. But if you want to talk about stocks all day long, hop over to Finery. Finery is our free little trading group. We just sit here and talk about stocks all day long. Today, we were taking a look at the earnings massacre that almost fell on us. Well, actually, Peloton got absolutely destroyed, but Peloton dropped 31%. That was no bueno. Square down 6%. That's no bueno. Uber recovered after their earnings call. We'll find out why, but they were down about 3% after hours and worked their way right back up. Airbnb had a great earnings, but I don't know what that dip was. They started to dip off of the good earnings and then bounced right back up, and now they're consolidating a little bit. But we were live here during market hours and a little bit after hours talking about what to expect, where to put money. We even put a big bet on Uber, so we'll see how this plays out tomorrow. Bought about 50 shares right before market close. So we'll see. It was fun. But anyways, let's talk about what we wanted to talk about here. Ape Wisdom talks about what people are talking about. And it covers Wall Street Bets, Wall Street Bets New, Wall Street Bets Elite, stock market, investing, SPACs, options, day trading, and short squeeze subreddits. So it's a good little gauge of where Reddit is at. In the past 24 hours, everybody and their mothers are talking about NVIDIA. They went on an absolute tear today. The options were insane. The shares were going crazy. Congratulations to anybody who played NVIDIA. We were talking about NVIDIA and tracking it and watching it, how it moves over at Finery. It was going nuts. It was crazy. Then we got Tesla, who just doesn't stop going up. I'm expecting something to pull this thing back down, but I've been saying that for years, and it never slows down. So we'll see what happens there. And then we have the S&P 500 post Powell, just kind of chilling and digesting the tapering news with the bonds. So far, so good. Nothing crazy to see there. Then we got GameStop, Peloton. Again, everyone's just talking about how it just got destroyed. And then AMD, Prague, Sava was going crazy today with a buyout rumor or confirmation. I don't remember which one. But then we got Cloudflare, DraftKings, Square, Penn, Meta. It's so weird to say Meta. Facebook. In my head, it's always going to be Facebook. But anyways, we have AMC and blah, 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 blah. And then we have to keep on scrolling because CLOV is falling off the most talked about tickers list. CLOV used to be number 3 quite regularly, but we're sitting at number 76. And you know what? I'm okay with that because our overall public positive sentiment is 88% positive. Nearby words include YOLO, more, before, like, wish, peace, earnings, next, goodbye, negatives, rocking, own, memes, and shitty. So we'll see how this all plays out. I do like to hop over to Swaggy Stocks, and you guys already know this because you're all subscribed and you watch, but everybody's talking about NVIDIA, Tesla, Peloton, GameStop, AMD, Sava. There's some new stocks working their way up this list, but CLOV is not on this list, and it hasn't been for about a week now, which again, I see a lot of your guys' comments down below as well talking about that's okay, we don't want to be on the Wall Street Bets list anyways. And I actually agree with that. It kind of lets us breathe naturally. And you know why it lets us breathe naturally? Because the last time Wall Street Bets decided to jump in and go crazy and buy CLOV and they started pumping the crap out of it, guess what happened? it just gets shorted right back down, because all of that volatility, all of that positivity, all of those buys spike up the price, and that's all great and all, but that's not sustainable. And what it does is it creates juicy options chains for the market makers to sell some calls and short you right back home. So we can still take a look at what people are talking about here. This tracks the stock price and the comment volume. And it's all right. Like, the stock price is holding up a little bit. It kind of dipped down a little bit, but the comment volume is near to none, which is fine. We'll see what happens after earnings. I do suspect we'll be back on this list after they announce their earnings, whether it's good or bad, but obviously it's probably going to be good. We'll see. What we're more interested in, and what's way more interesting to me, is this Max Payne. Now, I sound like a broken record every single day. Max Payne this, Max Payne that. But are you guys starting to notice that it's happening more and more and more? Today we closed at 769. Yesterday we were almost at 8. We were doing well. Why did we work our way back down? If you haven't already, I have a video that talks about Max Payne. It shows exactly what it is and how it works and blah, blah, blah. But Max Payne is the strike price that the stock needs to be at the expiration date. And we're looking at this week. Where is CLOV going to end this week? We like to take a look at that because we like to sell calls and we don't want to get blown out of the water. And we like to play with the market makers, because why not make some money along with them as we wait for different catalysts to come through and for the shorts to ease off so the stock can continue to climb. But the Max Payne is 7.5. That means everybody who buys anything above 7.5 is going to get destroyed. Everyone who buys anything below 7.5, I don't know what you're really doing there. How much lower can CLOV really go? But it's been happening time and time again for, wow, over a month now, where the Max Payne and the previous close just keep matching up every single time. So we'll see. We'll see where it closes this week. It should be interesting because we have earnings next week on Monday. Earnings doesn't seem to be affecting the Max Payne, but this might be because this is an irregular expiration date. 11/12 is one of those weird options. Like, you see how these are yellow, it says weekly. And then the other one says yellow and it's weekly. But then the November 19, the December 17, and so on aren't yellow and they don't say weeklies. Those are the more standard options, the ones that are gray. So if we hop over to November 19, you can tell that there's a lot more strikes available. So there's a lot more potential changes with the Max Payne there. So the Max Payne in 2 weeks is 9. I suspect that to change. I don't know the efficacy of the Max Payne once we go farther and farther out. Because look, when we go back to December, the Max Payne is 7. So I don't really believe that. I think a big part of it is dependent on the options chain itself, how many shares, how many strikes are available. So we'll see. Oh, that one's actually December 3rd. Yeah, look, so December 3rd only goes up to 15, but November 19 goes all the way to 43. So we'll see. Who bought those 12 43s? I love to see it. All right. So anyways, jumping into dark pool data, the shorts are piling in. It's getting quite shorted all over again after a positive day yesterday. I mean, you saw my thumbnail. It said nice day. Green days are nice days, but green days are often followed by massive shorting. And it's all your fault because you're buying all these calls. I don't know if it's actually because of that, but it makes sense in my head. So again, none of this is financial advice or a recommendation to buy or sell any type of security or investment, but chill out on these calls a little bit. All right. Let's see what happens if we stop buying calls, because it'll stop funding the market makers and hedge funds and other people who are shorting CLOV through options. But let's take a look at the daily movement for today. We opened up, had a nice day, and then did what it always does. worked its way down, bounced right back up, worked its way down all the way to 762, bounced right back up, bounced right back down, bounced right back up, and then right back down to close. So it wasn't that bad of a day. It was down 1.66%, down 13 cents, 769 like we talked about earlier. The options chain, a lot of people diving into that $8 call. The next weeks are also picking up some volume here because obviously earnings is next week. But fun little fact here. The options chain is currently pricing in a plus or minus $1.15 move on CLOV for next week. If you agree with that, what you would do is you would sell a call 1 standard deviation out of that. If you don't agree with that, what you do is you buy a call 1 standard deviation out. So up to you. I'm not going to be playing any options. I usually don't like to play options for earnings. I'd rather play shares. That way I don't get IV crushed. But it should be interesting to see what happens. I'm super excited. If you guys have any questions or if you guys want me to take a look at anything, let me know in the comments below. With that, I love you and I'll see you in the next video.